What is something that people do in public that annoys you? For me, it's if somebody is FaceTiming or in this case, Zooming, and they're really loud and it seems like it should be something done in private.
I can see that.
You know what I mean? So, and I know a lot of people take meetings at Starbucks, and that's where I was. My son wanted a drink yesterday, so rather than hit the drive-thru, I had to go to the dry cleaners next door anyway, so we just walked in to the Starbucks. And there's a guy who's on his computer. It's the first thing I see when I walk in. He's on his computer, and then immediately I hear, so then what we'll have to do is we'll have to go back and look at the numbers from 2024 and see. That's coming through the speaker.
Oh, okay. He doesn't have
loud.
earbuds in.
No.
He should have earbuds in.
No, he doesn't have earbuds in.
It's equally as annoying to hear you have a business meeting at Starbucks, but we don't need to hear both sides of the conversation.
Right. So he's like, we're going to have to go back and look at the 2024 numbers, and then we'll see. If we submit these numbers by Q2, we should be good to go. Don't you think, Dave? And apparently the guy at Starbucks' name is Dave. And he's like, yeah, there's no doubt about it. I think we should. And I'm like, what prevents me from walking over to that computer and being involved in their Zoom meeting?
Oh, like, you know how people drop into news stories and that kind of thing? Is that what you're thinking?
You know what prevented me from doing it? Nothing.
Yeah.
I said to Dean, bro, go over and get behind the camera and do something funny. Dean's 11. He and I are on the same wavelength, and he goes,
Same maturity
level. And I go, dude, it'll be really funny, and I'll take video of you doing it.
And he is actually, it sounds like, even more mature than you, because it doesn't sound like he's falling for it.
He says no. He's like, no.
So really, he's the more mature one in the two of you.
I go, all right, I'm going to go, but take video of it. He goes, no, Dad, don't. I was like, all right, that's fine. And so I'm waiting for the coffee. It takes a while at Starbucks, and I don't know why it takes so long. It seems like every time you walk into a Starbucks, you're the 8th customer in line.
Yeah, everyone wants a Starbucks.
Even though you're not, you can't even tell who's waiting because nobody's standing at the counter. So you don't know who's got their coffee and who does. I'm venting, and I don't mean to be. But you know what I mean, LauRen?
This week.
I'm really not. Shut up.
You kind of are.
I'm joking. I'm not, but I'm just saying you walk into Starbucks and you don't know how many people are ahead of you because it's not like McDonald's where everybody's waiting and you can count or, so I had time to kill. So I walked over and the guy on the speaker was talking and he just talking about numbers and he's like, we'll have to look at that and we'll have to see if that adds up, then we'll go ahead and do it. And I just pop in behind the guy and I go, hey.
You did do it. Maney.
Right behind the guy. And the guy turns, Dave, I think his name was. He turns and he looks. He's like, what's up? I go, what's up, man? High five to having the meeting at Starbucks. I go, if you need me to crunch any numbers, I'm not a math guy, but I got good ideas on other things.
Oh, your poor son. Did he crawl under the table?
He should have taken video. I was kind of upset that he didn't take video.
Actually, I would have crawled out of there.
No, dude, it was funny. And the guys laughed. There was 4 guys plus the guy at the Starbucks on. And that guy kind of laughed. But what do you expect? I mean, I wasn't invading the guy's privacy. There's no privacy when you're at Starbucks. I would have done it to him at his home.
Okay, you're not wrong, but it's still immature and kind of rude.
Immature, yes. I don't know if it was rude. I think what he was doing was more rude. I mean, he was being loud in there. And everybody could hear. Hold on, listen. I did manage to take some video before I went over.
Yes, the Florida Semiconductor
That's the guy.
Under the University of Florida. So UF's leadership team.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Very loud.
But maybe let me just say this because I'm sure my husband has to take meetings out and about like that too. There are some people who have sales jobs who their entire job is to be on the street, right? They have to go and call on businesses or whatever. They don't have an office, right? So Starbucks then becomes their office or their car becomes their office. And I guess a car is a better place to take the call, but it looks less professional. So this guy is stuck between a rock and a hard place and you're being a 12-year-old and jumping into his frames.
I go, hey, I don't know math. I hear you guys crunching numbers, but I'm a good idea guy if you need any ideas.
Oh, my gosh.
And the dude who was on turned around, looked at me, and kind of smiled. And all the 4 guys on the camera all like smiled.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe I broke up the monotony of it and made them laugh a little bit, too. And the texts, of course, are 50-50. One guy says, Maney, that was rude. Another person says, Maney, that's hilarious. I've done the same thing. 2 things. One, you can answer who interrupted your Zoom when you were doing a Zoom. Maybe you could go back to when we were all working from home during the pandemic if you have a funny story to share. And then the other thing we want to know is what bothers you that people do in public? Like, for some reason, it just bothered me that they were being so loud. And I'm like, you're just taking it for granted that somebody like me is not going to jump in.
Right.
And
well, they're just assuming everyone will behave themselves. God forbid.
Not this guy. Someone says, I hate when people are on their phone in public on speaker. It's so rude, especially when they're on their checkout lines going through.
Yeah.
Our friend and person who does a great job here, Miss Julia, she'll FaceTime her friend sometimes around here. And I think that's kind of...
She has her headphones in.
She does, but I think that's kind of cool because, like, she's probably not bored doing her job when she's got her friend hanging with her.
Sure. But we don't hear the other side of the conversation. Nope.
Someone says, I cannot stand when people are at the gym and they're holding up a piece of equipment while they're on their phone. Either talking, texting, or scrolling or whatever, but they're not working out. They're just sitting there.
That is
on their phone.
Super annoying.
Hey, I heard a funny story. There's this guy who's an agent to a lot of people in radio and TV, and he was at the Super Bowl, and he was at the gym, and there was a guy who was on the elliptical, and he was working out hard, and then he stopped, and he stood on the elliptical for a while and was on his phone, and this just happened this past weekend, and the agent was super annoyed. And then finally the guy got off, so he went over to the elliptical to use it. This agent did. And the guy came back he goes, excuse me, sir, can I wipe this off? I don't want you to get on it with my sweat. It was Paul McCartney.
Oh, my gosh, that's so funny.
Isn't that funny?
That's really funny.
I heard that story yesterday.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Yeah, but get back on. Do whatever you want, sir.
Hey, it's Lauren from the Maney and LauRen Morning Show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you've subscribed to our channel and liked this video. But if you want to see more content, we've got stunts and more funny show moments.